Well, as you can pretty much see, the mask is almost entirely done here. The only thing I need to do now is add the ear mechanics and the fur. And then he's done! Yay! So, also as you can see, he's got kind of like this funky panda bear paint going on here. I'll explain that in a minute. But first, I want to kind of show off his features here. There's his teeth completely in now. They're set with epoxy glue and epoxy sculpt, not to be confused with epoxy. Epoxy sculpt is actually this stuff right here. And it's pretty awesome and magical stuff. Oh my god, I can't explain how much I love this stuff right now. Really useful when you're doing like these animal masks. And even taxidermists use it for the same purpose really, to make eyelids and cheeks and their lips and noses and stuff like that. And it dries, it's a two-part putty glue adhesive thing. So basically you kind of squish it around, squish the two parts in your hand around like a clay ball, and then it's like clay for a little while, and then you mold it to how you want it to be shaped, and then it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to start to set. And then after a few hours, you know, you get this really hard type structure. It's really durable, and I'm pretty much gonna stick with it for the rest of my masks. I love it so much. So I'm gonna try and show off some of the mechanics and the eyes. You can see he's kind of that follow me effect is in going on here. He's looking at you. From this angle, it looks like he's so angry at you. He just wants to bite your face off. Alright, now this is going to be tricky though, because I usually need two hands to open the mouth. One to hold down the mask and one to open the jaw. But we'll try to do this anyway. So the jaw, I never did get to show the hinges though, so let's look at those here. Yep, there's the hinges. I made them out of the same resin material. I just basically formed them out of clay, like, oh, let me grab it here, one sec here, like this. Oh, it's got dust all over it. Like that. Well, first I drew it out on paper, exactly how I wanted it to be, and then I molded it into clay, just like that. But whatever you call this paper, it's like that really thick paper, the paper you use for like school projects and stuff. I can't think of it right now, but they put it on the back of it, and then poured the rubber here into a container with both of the hinges in there, and yep, I got a mold now, so I can make hundreds and thousands of them if I wanted to. Same thing with the claws. Man, boy, am I excited to use these. These are going to be awesome. Freaking bear claws. Gonna have them on the gloves for the werewolf. They're so huge. but that's exactly how I wanted them to be. Anyway, back to the hinge here. So yeah, I prefer this curved hinge style. You can just put a straight up and down one like this, sort of, kind of. And that gives you like a really basic movement, but this is actually like a little more realistic mechanically speaking. And the reason for that is animal jaws, when they open and close, it's not really a straight up and down hinge like that. It's a bone socket, like you would have a little spot up here where the bottom part of the jaw would come in and rest, and it acts sort of like a swing, but not just a swing, because you have ligaments and tendons holding all this stuff together. And I'm getting too sciencey, but it would also allow it to open to a different angle and different degrees. I'm overcomplicating this, really. But this hinge, I like it better than just a straight up and down. I think it gives a better movement. Okay, let's just put it that way. I used two, I think, number 8 machine screws here. One here as well. Lots of washers, give it a lot of movement, smooth movement. Just one at the bottom, because I kind of want the bottom jaw to be more, to have more movement. So if it's okay if this bottom jaw pivots a little bit on the screw. But these up here, I don't want them to move at all, because this is the part that when the jaw comes up, it's going to put it back exactly in line with these teeth. If this moves, the jaw is actually going to wobble a little bit left to right, and that's why these are enforced. 2 of them here, 1 at the bottom. But yep, I need to figure out what I want to do with the back of the head. I can't decide if I want to do just plain old elastic like I've been doing, or if I want to make straps for it. Can't decide. We'll get to that later, I suppose. But there's the inside of it. It's kind of weird, and as you can see, you actually see out of the tear duct area, and that, turning back around, is right here. So, yep. It's actually got pretty good vision, surprisingly. Okay, let's see if I can open the mouth now. I want to get it to, there we go. Let's see, there's the tongue, all painted and slimy looking, ready to go. As you can see, I took a lot of time to make sure that the teeth were perfectly in line before I glued them in and set them with the epoxy, so it's closing right exactly where it should be. And it snaps back. I got my finger. Ah. It's already vicious. This right here, that's one of the end of the little springs. Focus camera. The springs that I'm using to make the jaw shut. Because in real life, you have ligaments and muscles and stuff that close your jaw. And if those muscles and ligaments aren't working, obviously your jaw is going to hang limp and your tongue is going to hang out, and you're just going to look not too well. So I have to replicate that. You have to replicate those things when you're making these. So these little springs right in here that you can probably barely see do the trick. And every mask has a different sort of place that you want to set them, different tension points.